Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening. Is this on?
No, they're not on. Sorry, man.
Well, that's offensive, but something more offensive happened. But I'll let you know about that in a minute. I was driving in and I saw all these big, huge vehicles, you know, the kind that Obama wants to totally get rid of. And then I saw everybody packed in here like this, and I thought for sure we were in the middle of a polygamous compound raid. But I see that's not the case. But I thought it. But the other thing I wanted to mention is, and I'm not sure if they told you this, but the Guild was originally going to do this event at one of the Christian churches in the area. This is a Christian area, right? And but they were worried God was, once they saw what was going to be here, what everybody was going to do, they were worried God was going to just totally destroy it. So that's why we're here at this bookstore. The worst, seriously, the worst experience of my life happened just 2 days ago. It was really horrible. I was at Sweet Tomatoes, and by the way, I think the word sweet should be taken off of there after what they did to me. We had dinner. I went to pay. The woman looked at me right in the face. The attractive woman, I'll admit that. And she said, "Sir, would you like the senior discount?" This is horrible. Do I look like I'm 60 years old? See? It was a horrible experience. It's never happened before. So well, let's try to get by. Now, if she had said to me, "Sir, you look like a terrorist," I would have felt okay about that. In fact, I realized that I resemble a terrorist clone. If the terrorists are so smart, then how come instead of blowing themselves up, they don't create clones and have them blow themselves up? And if Bin Laden and his buddies are so exemplary, telling everybody to get blown up, how come they're still alive and all their other friends are blown up? Right? I want to let you all know that I was supposed to perform at the Toyota Center tonight, and I chose to be with you all instead.
Well, thank you.
Exactly. And I realized a lot of you are writers, and you're working like triple overtime, right, to get your books published. And the band's playing like crazy to try to get a recording out there. And so I thought I would want to relate a little better with the audience, and so I chose not to get paid for this event. But, you know, you get what you paid for in life, too.
What, you're not getting paid?
Exactly.
How do I do that?
You are. This is, I'm leaving the meeting.
That's our respect.
Yeah.
I want to sincerely apologize for who I am. I realize that we're all used to a certain caliber of individual at these type of performances and in the entertainment business generally. But, you know, unfortunately, I wasn't abused as a child. And I was, you know, I'll be honest with you and candid, I wasn't rejected by numerous women. I'm still married, which I know is a problem for a lot of people. My parents are even married, which is sad. And I have friends. That's another thing. I have friends. And I'm not a crackhead. I am not a crackhead. I am not a crackhead. So,
but you carry a purse.
That's right, I do. That's a factual statement. I am not a crackhead, so I'm just going to do the very best I can with my limited experience, life experience here. Now, there's something else I need to confess about one here. And this is the first time I've ever said this publicly, but I'm going to come out about something. And I realize that it's not good to be what I am in this day and age. And it's hard to say this publicly, and it's hard to say it with knowing my wife is in the audience. It's very embarrassing. but I want you all to know that I am heterosexual. I am not gay. Okay. Oh, this, yes, you were asking about this. Look, lots of people have these high-end Prada purses. You don't have to be gay. You can be heterosexual to carry one of these around. So. Now, this problem that I just mentioned that I came out about, I realized that this is going to be the sole reason why I will never be able to be named Miss California.
I don't know.
I can't think of any other reason that I wouldn't be Miss California. I mean, honestly, let's think about that.
It's cute, Jim, trust us.
I want to confess that, well, not confess, I just want to tell you that I was a Wall Street financial analyst.
I need a lot of those.
Exactly. And I'm confessing now that I'm the one who brought down the global economy. So I apologize for that. But that's why I'm here. Comedy is my last hope.
Better than gravity.
Exactly. I worked for Bank of America, which nearly went bankrupt. I worked for Bear Stearns, which went totally bankrupt. I worked for Lehman Brothers, which totally went bankrupt, and that's when the stock market collapsed. But I assure you, I just want everybody to know that even though I was at all those institutions and they had all these problems, I had nothing to do with it, you know. And my parole officer will vouch for that. Now I realize that, you know, having worked on Wall Street is basically a sin, and I'm really worried about what the guy upstairs is going to say when I get there.
They go to absolve.
Yeah, I'm worried about it, but I'm hoping when I'm at the great judgment bar that I will be standing in between Hitler and Stalin. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's a hope. Okay, speaking of leaders, well, we aren't speaking of leaders actually. We're speaking, but we are going to speak leaders. How many of you voted for Bush? Please raise your hand. I see there's about 20%. Jefferson over there. I see there's maybe 20% of you are willing to do it. As I recall, you got over 50% of the vote. And in Texas, even more. Have you noticed no one wants to admit they voted for Bush anymore? Have you all noticed that? Yeah.
My husband did.
He did?
I avoided this boy.
I raised my
You didn't
hand.
leave him for
Did you raise your hand, sweet boy? He's honest still.
Obama is doing a pretty good job of getting some of that Bush stuff back,
I
but
was going out.
it's just like in Germany after World War II. You couldn't find a single Nazi.
You have to go to Argentina.
Well, yeah, speaking of that, where have all the Nazis gone? To Argentina,
Chile,
and Brazil.
La 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 la. Has anyone seen Bush around anyway? Does anybody know where Bush is these days?
Crawford.
You think maybe he's up in Crawford?
Dallas.
Dallas.
Dallas, they saw him in Dallas? Well,
Did you try out his barbecue?
No, I haven't been to the barbecue. I swear I spotted him last weekend as a Walmart greeter. He recommends the water boards. I recommend you all try one. Speaking of leaders, let's go on to another topic, to the drug war. What about this drug war on the border with Mexico? You all are aware of it, right? What's the deal with these drug lords? Don't they realize my shipments are getting slowed down? Oh, excuse me. I knew this would happen. I apologize. I said the wrong thing. Don't they realize my friends' shipments would get slowed down? I am not a crackhead. Don't you think these drug lords ought to get into legitimate businesses like the Godfather did? Wouldn't that be good? I think they should open a string of joints and call it Crack in the Box.